Welcome to this explainer. We usually think of the military strictly in terms of tactical operations and pure combat readiness, right? But today, we're diving into something totally different. We're going to look at a fascinating intersection of skills. Have you ever wondered how the military merges that intense combat readiness with high-level, commercial-grade artistic creativity? It sounds like a paradox, but it's actually a deeply critical reality for a specific group of soldiers. Today, we're breaking down the role of the 46V, the Visual Information Specialist in the U.S. Army.
So if I ask you, how does the Army actually document its history, what pops into your head? You probably pictured generals writing up dense, classified reports behind closed doors, or maybe historians poring over old tactical maps. But the reality on the ground is so much more visually captivating. Documenting history for the modern military isn't just for dusty archives. It's essential for real-time global intelligence, planning missions, and actually shaping public influence all over the world.
And that massive globe-spanning mission doesn't just happen on its own. It falls squarely onto the shoulders of the 46V Visual Information Specialists. These soldiers are quite literally known as the eyes and ears of the Army. They are the ones actively tasked with telling the dynamic human stories of the military, capturing the absolute truth of operations everywhere, from the quietest training grounds to the most intense combat zones.
To really get a feel for this unique career path, we're going to break it down into 4 quick parts. 1. The eyes and ears. 2. Mastering the craft. 3. On the front lines. And 4. Keeping history alive.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the eyes and ears. Let's look at the actual mission of a 46V.
So what do they actually do? A 46V is a soldier who documents military operations worldwide, and this serves 4 massive purposes: planning, intelligence gathering, historical record-keeping, and public influence. Now, this isn't just pointing a camera and hoping for the best. They are capturing highly sensitive operational intel. In fact, because of the environments they operate in, this specific role actually requires these soldiers to successfully qualify for a secret security clearance. It's serious business.
And the sheer variety of what they do is honestly pretty wild. We're talking full-scale video production, juggling the lights, the camera, the sound, the whole shebang. But they don't stop there. They build interactive graphics, design web pages, and even create large-scale print stuff like posters and banners. They're essentially tasked with storytelling across all military branches as full-blown, highly versatile multimedia producers.
Moving right along to Section 2, Mastering the Craft. Let's see what the training pipeline looks like. How does someone actually become a 46V? Well, it's a rigorous, multi-phased journey. First up, combat readiness. Every recruit goes through 10 weeks of standard Army basic combat training. Once they've got that tactical foundation, they head over to Fort Meade in Maryland. There, they spend about 6 months at the Defense Information School, usually just called DINFOS, before finally heading out to their field and studio assignments, which last well over a year. Now, you might be thinking, okay, they just learn how to use a nice camera, right? Actually, no. The DINFOS curriculum goes incredibly deep. Beyond basic lighting and composition, they master script writing, basic directing, and nonlinear editing to actually build compelling narratives. They even train in investigative photography, specialized portraiture, motion graphics, and web design. It's kind of like cramming a highly intensive media arts degree into just half a year.
And it's not all just behind-the-scenes technical work either. These soldiers learn the absolutely vital art of public affairs. They're trained to churn out commercial-quality digital media that's completely ready to be broadcast on TV, played on the radio, or pushed across the internet. They have to understand how to craft narratives for major media engagements and figure out exactly how their visuals are going to impact the broader public conversation.
Okay, Section 3, on the front lines. Let's talk about the deployment realities. So once they graduate with this secret clearance and all these amazing multimedia skills, where do they actually work? Well, a 46V essentially lives a dual life. They could be assigned to a highly controlled, fixed studio facility like a garrison public affairs office. Or they could literally be deployed right alongside frontline combat units, traveling to places where the situation is completely unpredictable, chaotic, and dangerous. They are expected to seamlessly transition between both.
But honestly, whether they're in a comfy production studio or embedded with a combat camera unit out in the dirt, their day-to-day mission is super demanding. They are out there documenting daily operations, creating polished products for newspapers and magazines, transmitting imagery right from the field, and even facilitating delayed video broadcasts. They're capturing the good, the bad, and the real, unfiltered reality of deployed troops.
When you break it down, the immense pressure of this job really happens in 3 rapid steps.
1. Operate visual equipment often right in the middle of active combat or intense training. 2. Capture and process high-quality digital imagery right on the spot. And 3. Transmit that data directly from the field. Think about that for a second. Under massive tactical pressure, they have to nail the artistic composition and immediately push that imagery up the chain of command for intelligence analysis or global broadcast. It is high-stakes creativity for sure.
Which brings us to our final section, Section 4, Keeping History Alive. Let's look at their legacy and future careers.
So what happens after they take off the uniform? Well, a 46V is building a seriously lucrative civilian resume. Look at how this translates. Their visual specialist skills lead straight into roles at film production companies. That intense, high-pressure leadership and problem-solving they learned in the field, advertising agencies absolutely eat that up, and their massive multimedia background opens doors to AV studios, plus major TV and radio stations. They walk out as elite, battle-tested media producers.
But beyond the impressive resume building, the real profound importance of this role is historical. As one soldier perfectly put it, we are keeping history alive. These specialists make sure that the sacrifices, the operations, and the daily realities of the military aren't just lost to time. They bring written words to life with vivid documentation so that decades from now, future generations can actually look back, see the photos, watch the videos, and know exactly what happened.
It's just an amazing career field, merging a real sense of military duty with profound artistic expression. Being the eyes and ears of a global force is an incredibly unique responsibility. So I'll leave you with this one final thought to ponder. Considering all this intense action, cutting-edge tech, and powerful storytelling we've seen today, are you ready to tap into your creative side? Is this the creative mission you've been looking for?